Hello everyone, this is Bigalski.
And JTB.
And this is Chapter 13 for the Xbox One release of Ninja Gaiden Black, the normal walkthrough. First thing before we start, I want to say I hope people are having a chance to look in the info section whenever I put up these descriptions. Kel is a great, awesome Ninja Gaiden player that people may, not remember, but I've been linking his Karma runs from this point. I mean, Ballbade is in there at the first chapters, and then Kel's on these last chapters. So I know people look and see that, wow, how does he do this? Or, that's hard to believe. Well, I'm missing a lot of points compared to what Kel is doing. So if people want to watch that, it's a good find. And also, I'm linking like JTB's weapons tutorials are also in there. So again, if people want to learn a little bit more about the game, follow those links. And you'll be have some little bonus information along with our video here. Now on this,
absolutely.
On this right here, I just use the arrows Davi method. I go back later and fight it for more points, but again, this is with them putting the arrows up there. Hey, I figured that's what they wanted you to do with the game, so I'm actually going to just do that for this. Not having the shurikens was a little bit tricky to get used to, because you can just throw them and knock the wasps away. But watch this arrow coming up. I think I killed 2 guys with one arrow coming up here.
I was going to say, just one arrow, one shot.
Watch,
right? On normal.
There's 2.
I wish I could have seen that, like it happens off screen, like you can't actually see what happens.
Right. And I don't look towards. There's really no reason to look out, because it's hard to see what you're doing if you're looking out on the field from that angle.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, and also at the beginning of this chapter, go back and save before the Smoggin fight. Don't save downstairs, down here at this save statue, because if you do, and I don't need this rebirth, but if you do and try the challenge again, it won't be a timed fight. So, and this goes back to the bats from Chapter 10. Since I didn't kill them, they're even going to respawn here.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
and you'll find out why in a second.
Yeah.
When you cross that line right there that you're standing on, that's where they'll spawn. So it's like a chaining essence from those bats is really handy. If for whatever reason you do end up killing them all by accident, you can use the imps that are down below, just in that area. Like you can chain essence from them; it will reach, just in case you don't have access to the bats.
So here, with the level 1 Davi, I wanted to see, or the level 3 Davi. It's going to kill the guys. So I just want to say, hey, can I get 3 UTs like, what the standard is? So, switching from the firewheel trick to the Davis, to the nunchuck, to the smoke bomb, back to the Davis, back to the firewheels. I mean, it was actually a lot of fun trying to figure out how to get 3 UTs on this versus, hey, let me just kill them all with 1 UT.
I mean, if you really wanted to, try the, play the numbers game, you could just do it by chance and hope that the Debilero only kills 1, which is it can happen. It's unlikely to happen with the level 3 Debilero.
Yeah, that's the reason I switched, because I would kill all 3 every time.
Yeah.
It's like, man, there's still 15 seconds left. I could be doing. I actually don't like some of my transitions. Oh, here on this, if you read this at Miramasa, it says if you can do it, no hurt, you'll get a reward. Well, it's a talisman on normal, whether you get hit or not. But in order to activate this, you actually have to do the cutscene and go pick up the true dragon sword, right?
You only have to activate the portal. You don't need to get the dragon sword.
Oh, okay.
You can just put all 3 stone tablets in, and then when that little cutscene plays, you can just come back and do this.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I'm going to go get the dragon sword. So, I mean, there's a little extra time that I wasted that, for people who are doing this, you don't have to worry about. Again, having your kill counter up here is, a great thing to see what you've done.
Yeah, it's very common, especially with the UF, because the way he jumps, you can see the camera follows him. It's really, really common to kill an imp, off screen that you can't see. And then, if you don't know that you've killed him, then you won't know that you have a UT available to chain versus an ET. So, I mean, we've said it a lot. We've said it a bunch of times, but that kill counter it's such a useful tool.
Yeah, I think I end up having a UT ready, and I thought I just had an ET, so I actually kind of hesitated. So, not keeping track of the essence that I had out. It might be right. I think it's right there. No. Anyway, it's one place on here where I actually kind of hesitate and that's just because, you know, I lost track of, you know, what I killed and what essence is out there. So again, that's super important. Now,
have you got you've got celerity on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, say what it's like.
But you know, again, I blasted through this with the UF. I went back later and fought it for points again. You know, people didn't want to see that little bastard sneaking down right there at the very end. But what was the other thing we were going to talk about? Oh, time.
Oh, the time and kill bonus, that's right. We're so prepared, guys, as you can tell. So I don't think we've actually talked about this explicitly in a recent video, but the way the actual kill bonus works, you've probably mentioned it just out of habit about, you know, getting a better kill bonus and what causes that to happen. And it's basically tied to the amount of time that you have remaining on an encounter. So, for example, this encounter right here has got 60 enemies in it. And I can't remember what the time limit was, but for argument's sake, let's say it was 500 seconds. If it was possible to kill all 500 enemies in, you know, a microsecond, a nanosecond, or whatever, you would get just under double the base kill bonus of an encounter. And the way that you work out what the base kill bonus of an encounter is you take the number of enemies that you have and times it by 1,000, because every kill is worth 1,000 points. So, for example, in this fight, it would be a base kill bonus of 60,000 points, because there's 60 enemies, and every enemy's worth 1,000 points. So, the way that kill bonus is worked out, because you'll see it here, tot up, there's 60 enemies, but the kill bonus was 93,240, so you got an extra...
a little bit more than half of the allotted time.
Yeah, so you got, what was that, 33,240 extra points because of how fast you did it. And that basically applies to any encounter in the game. The way it works for bosses is bosses are a little bit different because they have a base kill level of 100,000 points, and on the higher difficulties they have anywhere from 8 to 12 minions with them. So all enemies in an encounter on a boss would be the boss plus its minions. So, for example, someone like Alma is going to have 100,000 points for Alma, and then 8,000 points for her minions. So her base kill bonus with all the enemies killed is 108,000 points if you kill all the minions. If you only kill her and 4 minions, your base kill bonus is 104,000. And if you did it in half the time, you'd get a 52,000 point kill bonus, as opposed to a 54,000 if you did 108. So hopefully that explains that precisely, because it's a lot of numbers, but it's pretty straightforward.
But if people turn on the timer and they start, you know, seeing that, they'll understand it.
Yeah.
Now for this fight right here, since I whiffed on doing my Gleaming Blade at the beginning, I just said, you know what, let me just show how to beat her with Nimpo. And so that's all that this fight was, is just, you know, Nimpoing her. I think every one of them hit except for one, but if she starts to throw pillars or start to throw a big laser at you, I was lost here, where to go. You can...
Nice to see that happens to other people except not me. That's usually what I do. Like, wait, where am I going?
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, you can cancel that out, her attack. You know, you don't have to worry about dodging it, just Nimpo your way through it. And the little thing that I wanted to show here is if people are low on Nimpo, or don't want to, you know, don't have any more and they might need them for the pill bug encounter coming up, you can actually go all the way back here if your essence isn't, you know, good, and just refill your Nimpo doing this. Of course, you have to stay right across the little wooden board down there at the bottom. But I mean, that's all I'm showing right here. I mean, normally I wouldn't do that because I have essence to burn because you're playing through UTs. But just in case you don't, here's a little trick if people don't know about it.
Can you remember if that happens if you use it in
here's the Kiori
2?
trick. Sorry. The Kiori trick that he came up with is to charge up with the ET, and then that would stun her. And then you can Flying Swallow or rotate Y a little bit to knock her down. And then you know, Flying Swallow at her, or on landing Gleaming Blade at her to do some damage. Kiori found that out. So again, I wanted to show that because these other couple videos I do, it doesn't really show that much. And I kind of went overboard on the Awakened Alma ones because I had such good runs on her these last couple, or these next 2 runs. So I had to show them because I do them no hurt, and it just never happens. So. Go ahead. Sorry, I wanted to explain.
No, I was just thinking,
Fiore trick.
the arrow trick on the targets. I can't remember if you used them in Chapter 2. Can you use them again here?
Yes. I think they constantly.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'd have to actually go back and look. I was just curious.
Yeah, I think that's unlimited. I think. I really don't like some of these transitions, but I had to use them. So anyway, same thing. I did that no hurt. Here's the Fiore trick right there. Not quite exactly like the other one, but you get the idea with charging.
It had the desired effect.
Yeah.
It knocked her down, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way, because a lot of people just say, well, all I can do is just flying swallow at her and hope that connects. But there is another way to fight her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I just wanted to show that. And again, that right here, in I think my other video, she dodged out of all of that. But on this one right here, I was able to connect. So again, just trying different things. This is kind of my speed run where I'm going to definitely get hit. I'm surprised she did that.
I love the way she dodges that gleaming blade. She just goes from side to side.
But this really never happens. I mean, me and my wife were watching this, and whenever this actually happened, we couldn't believe it, that I was able to connect that many times in a row on her. And
I'd say probably once in 100, maybe.
Oh,
that
yeah.
happens. Yeah. Like if you were to play her 100 times, you'd be lucky to get like 3 or 4 connecting flying swallows in a row. Like maybe 1 out of 100 times. I'd say it's pretty generous.
So we were sitting there, and like I look at Ryu, and he's like, "Wow, did that just happen? Let me reflect on it." So my wife and I were like, "Wow, I can't believe that happened." But I went back and saved here. I got a really good kill bonus on her. So I was real happy with that. Now this section right here, I don't know if a lot of people know, I'm sure most people do, but there's a way to get a 2-timed beetle fight encounters. And what a lot of people would do here is just beat this, and then I think move the armlets to where whenever you would take this off, what would happen? You would put you'd only get one. This fight would happen twice.
Yeah, you get it twice in this room.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be timed. Now I just stood here and did that. I mean, I had a couple runs where I got a 70 hit combo.
Oh yeah, because of shurikens.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. And that's where I messed up right there.
I hate it when they do that.
Yeah, it's because I messed up on my on landing. But weren't you saying something about how the beetles come out at a certain pattern or something, or a certain...
Yeah, there's 2 spawn groups. So as you can see, like I think in that one you only ever got 5 at a time, and the way to trigger both spawn groups is to kill 4 and then let them start spawning again, and then kill them, because then that will trigger the second 5. And then like you'll see it on, I think it's on one of my speedruns. You'll see me like I'm able to kill 8 or 9 at a time with 1 UT. If you're not going for speed, like that really isn't anything to worry about. But it's just something to bear in mind with how the spawning patterns work. It's like very few encounters have like a dynamic spawn system. They are one. The Staircase Fiend Challenge is another. I'd say Marbus, technically, the way he spawns his minions is dynamic. You can control that to an extent, but other than that, like it's just one of those things that is a bit of a quirk that's in the game.
Yeah, so what people would normally do is grab the Pillar of Fire and just go ahead and put it in this. So you would have one more fight scene, and that would kind of pretty much end the chapter. But in order to get the 2 fights, you have to put the Tablet of Leaves in the Tablet of Leaves. So I showed how to manipulate the tablets in order to get this as a timed fight. And I really hate standing over there. That chest really messes me up. I should have went to another side. I think I get flipped out of this too. One of them jumps over or something. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's funny is you think about it. 1 shuriken is enough to stun them.
Look at that UT because of the chest.
Yeah, that was really funny. You think one shuriken is enough to stun these guys, and they're tiny, and yet they can, like, I'm pretty sure they can just armor the windmill shuriken, which is like a giant shuriken, and it just pings off them sometimes. How's that work?
Yeah, that's where I messed up. But I'm like, this is where I was like, you know what? I just want to finish this chapter. And there's my, I love that, because that's the chest. So I still made the time.
So yeah, as you can see, yeah, right here you've got both spawn patterns up. You see there, you had 6 enemies on screen.
So on this right here, because you fight the fights in chapter 12, I go and save here, but and make sure you pick up the deity while the door is open so you don't forget. But because I fight a lot of the fights in chapter 13 and chapter 12, I actually go and save, and then I have to take one of the tablets out to get the beetles to spawn. I forgot it again. 30 minutes, I think, and 250.
It's 32 minutes, 243 kills.
There you go. So I had to do that, but anyway, we'll see you guys.
Peace.
Yeah, chapter 14 might be a little bit, but hope y'all enjoyed this, and we'll see you. Watch those info sections, please.